Nobody welcome. Let's see here. That should be good. Just sending out the sending out all the social media stuff. There we go. What's up, Lucas? What's up, Scott? All right. See what we're working with here. Yumi Vayne. Yumi Rengar is going to be a real pain in the ass, too. We're just not going to be able to punish early with Ezreal, probably. They're almost all AD. Okay, someone dodged. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, the guy wasn't that great on Ezreal. And they had a lot better scaling. Right, let me get the chat back open here. Where'd the chat go? Oh, there it is. Okay. They should bring Garen's villain mechanic back. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I haven't thought about it. It's possible. I mean, like, what does that accomplish? Like, it allows you, I guess, to just really try to punish someone for getting a shutdown. And he's, like, running down, trying to hunt people down for that. I guess Akshan has a similar mechanic, so if Akshan has it... Right, doesn't Akshan get like extra damage or something, and cloak and movement speed? Something like that running towards someone who just killed an ally. I can't remember all of his stuff, but I don't like Ziggs. Ziggs in theory can be good, but most people just don't play him. Although he's been a pick floating around for a few weeks now, but no, this person hasn't played him. He just saw it in LCS and wants to try it out. And the problem is Ziggs just has a really hard time breaking through some of these champs that are going to get a lot of defense. He just doesn't do any sustained damage. Yeah, I mean, they just want Garen. I think they're just resigned to allowing Garen to be a very simple champion. I mean, he's only 450 IP. Like, he's just designed to be one of the first champs that people play, I think. And they're cool with that. They've said they want really low skill 4 champs. in the game, and that those champs shouldn't really be viable over Diamond. Oh no. He's taking teleport. It's just straight up saying, like, we're just gonna lose lane hard. Why are there so many gold 2s? I get it, like, I don't have, like, super high MMO right now, or MMR right now, but this guy hasn't played a game on that account in 30 days. I mean, he might have another account. I mean, he did play a lot of... He was basically a Hecarim one-trick. I guess he took a little break or something. This guy's pretty good on Yone. Alright, I mean, I guess we'll play it. Yeah, Lux mid, I mean, it could be alright, I guess. Remember Talia. Yeah. I'm not super sad that she's not in the meta, but, I mean, she was kind of interesting. I'm perfectly happy. Like, I get roamed on enough bot lane. I'm perfectly happy if Twisted Fate, Talia, Galio, like, that type of stuff, the global meta is not a thing. As a biased, you know, engaged player.
Riku, how can you be tired already? We just got here.
Okay, so tonight I got to clean up the decision making, got to be more patient, got to read the map a little better, not die to roams. That was something that happened a lot. We just got annihilated yesterday. I don't really have any CC. Okay, they're invading over there. I'm gonna focus on fighting vision better, not dying.
Universe tends towards chaos. I'm just helping it along.
And just maybe communicating a little better. Yeah, I could still see her being viable. I think she was, like, interesting as a jungler for a while there. I mean, Nar should at least throw something on there. I don't know. I don't understand why he's starting red, though. I guess Yi... Because you would want to fight Yi, right? You want to fight Yi for Scuttle and not give him free farm. But he's taking, like, this super passive route. We're... I don't know. I don't know if we're going to push them in or if they're going to push us in. Yeah, he either started, he might have started their blue. How do we know he's on our blue? Did we see him? Someone pinged it, but I don't know how we know that. We know he didn't do Raptor, so it's unlikely he's at his red.
I do what I want. No star guardians.
I think he could have been at his blue, though. I mean, he could be ganking us right now. Okay, yeah, he did start on our blue. Really? How did I not get the stuff back, though? Oh, he walked on a ward in the river. Okay. How did I not just get double buffs back? Was I not? I had already spawned when he died, right? Or did it? Was it like right before? Oh my god. Tragic. You have to deal the killing blow? So if like a tower kills somebody, then even if they get credit for the kill, you don't get the buffs? I was the one who was credited with the kill. Hashtag Ziggs. She's running at me like really hard. I assume Yee's probably here.
I don't apologize for doing my thing.
You know, Mark Madsen used to be the person that I kind of made fun of back in the day on the Lakers. He's like the 15th person on the bench, but I've seen some interviews where Shaq was like really liked him and was hooking him up because he was like this super wholesome, like very conservative Christian guy.
Perfection doesn't exist.
She flash? I think she flashed out. So I feel bad, like I can't make fun of him. Yeah, I've been trying to listen to like the Double Lift Medio Sneaky TriCast every week. And I usually learn probably at least half a dozen things. It doesn't mean I always apply them perfectly in game, but yeah, I definitely learned some stuff. What the fuck? Ziggs backed? Oh my god. I thought she didn't have her flash. I guess she did. Ziggs literally backed. He was full health, right? He was full health. He had him pushed in and he backed. Zyra just by herself walked up and just took the dragon. Just right in Ziggs' face. Like, if Ziggs just collapsed, we could have killed her easily. It's actually unbelievable. I mean, did she chunk him out? Was he at like 1% or something? It looked to me like he was full health, just like AFK pushing, and then still didn't rotate. Just dead again. I mean, I knew it was going to be rough, but this is like, this is next level. And this goes beyond just champ select. It just pisses me off, like, that people get away with this shit when they play Zyra. Like, I can't ever play Zyra because their jungler will just turbo camp and will be against, like, a double poke lane that actually knows how to play. Like, I'll get paired against Lux or Xerath or some garbage, and then their Xin Zhao will just sit on me all game. He's gonna die. Alright. She's actually rushing Hourglass. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Most good guys are just kidding themselves.
An ally has been slain.
Ziggs is giving advice here. Hey man, I know I'm 0-4, but please listen to my advice on itemization. I'm trying not to be too negative. It's a rough start. Gotta rein it in. Zyra's okay into Rakan in my experience. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just pick her in the worst games to pick her in or something, but I think I've had pretty decent matchups with her. My win rate's not like 0% as Zyra, but it just feels bad when you're behind. Like, yeah, it feels great when you're 5-0. Or 5-1 or whatever. I don't know why he wants him to go Divine Sunder. I mean, it's a good item in general.
Universe tends towards chaos. I'm just helping it along.
Master Yi's also got 4 kills. I mean, Hecarim does have a lot of farm, so that's good. Well, it's a thing in pro. I've seen it some in pro. I don't know exactly the win rate or how often it's picked, but pro players have been popularizing it. And YOLO queuers are trying it out because it looks fun. He is kind of fun, it's just he's bad in solo queue, man. He just doesn't do enough sustained damage, he requires too much skill to hit all of his crap, and he's just really susceptible to flanks. And like YOLO queue hyper carry champs. Maybe didn't need to ignite there. I mean, I don't know his win rate. His win rate's probably not that bad. I wouldn't be surprised if he has like a 53% win rate or something, but... Well, it's like... He can wave clear early and he takes towers, like, really well. It just seems like a lot of people are not that good on him. Fuck, is he actually gonna get me? No, he's running. Okay. Maybe Hecarim can like hard carry. But yeah, he's just really, really vulnerable in my experience. But he just like claps the towers really, really fast. If you're going for like a siege comp kind of thing, he's one of the best at that. is gonna take it, isn't she?
I do what I want. No start.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Safety is boring, Riku. Let's start a fight.
Yeah. He's got a high win rate. It's just one of those, like, everyone but my Ziggs. I don't know. I don't mind playing against Ziggs, too. I don't know. Just anecdotally, he just seems bad. Like, there are times... He's like a win more type of champ. He's probably a better version of Caitlyn, is what I would think about. Is, like, very heavy pressure, potentially, on the lane early. And if you pair him with, like, a poke support. But I just don't, like, trust my Ziggs to be good enough to play a Pope support. Yeah, I haven't really looked at Troy. I'm probably not going to play Troy. It was kind of a flop. A lot of people that... I mean, maybe it's alright, but a lot of the YouTubers that started to cover it pretty quickly went back to Warhammer. Like, Legend of Total War played it, like, on release. The Troy thing.
An ally has been slain.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as, like, the Britonia or whatever it is. Not Britonia, but the, like, Britain, like, mini DLC, whatever they're calling them, sagas. Like, that was just abysmal. It wasn't that bad. It was just, like, okay, but not great, I think was kind of the consensus. But I haven't played it. Three Kingdoms was okay, like, just nobody watched that at the time. Like, even despite, you know, my low viewership that I get on almost everything, it was, like, extremely low on that. For a game that just got released, like, brand new game, like, first episode of it was, like, bringing in, like, 200 views or something. It's just Total War Warhammer is just, in my opinion, just so much better than the other Warhammer or the other Total Wars. Total War Warhammer. There's 1 and 2, but they're basically just the same thing. 2 is just basically DLC for 1. There's just so much uniqueness to each faction. Like a different aesthetic, different units, different kinds of win conditions. That's one big thing that's missing, and it's like, yeah, it's historically accurate for a lot of the factions to, you know, be human, and to have similar technologies and things like that, right? To just be horse, spear, or like cavalry, swords, and spears, archers, but I don't know. It just feels like with the Total War world, you can just be a lot more creative. The one thing about Total War Warhammer, though, is, yeah, the city management is really oversimplified, or, like, not over, but, like, very simplified compared to some of the historical Total Wars. And certainly compared to, like, Paradox games, but most people, but I think, like, the combat's just way better.
An ally has been slain.
Dude, this guy is literally 0 and 8. We need a hero.
An enemy has been slain.
I mean, Hecarim's doing pretty well.
Doing the right thing was boring.
If we just had, like, the thing is, Ziggs doesn't even scale that well. That's the issue. If it was like 0 and 8 Vayne or something, it's like, all right, well, at some point she's going to get 2 or 3 items, and maybe she can just start auto-attacking people in a team fight, right? But, like, Ziggs is just he's just so dependent on doing well early. He just doesn't keep up with other ADCs late games. His auto attacks like don't do enough damage. He doesn't have sustained damage. I mean, I'm not gonna report him. He's just bad. I mean, maybe this guy is like good on other champs. I don't know. But he's trying. He's just bad. But who knows? Maybe, I mean, they could have a huge throw too. The game's not like unwinnable. I think we're at about like 30% just off the cuff right now. They're gonna try to dive this guy. I'm the only one though. We really needed Yone to... If Yone rotated, maybe. But I can't... We can't do a 2v5 under tower. Nar's 0-6 also. Dude, like 2 people were 0-15 on our team. Well, it's just one of the... It just happens. Oh my god. Oh. 2 are dead. Not defending that. Yeah, no, I just use the I just type it in on Professor. I just don't want to use a third-party app. I'll use the website though. Okay, that... Damn it, she's gonna heal him. I always say 3 champs max. If you're wanting to climb, is what I would recommend. Fewer the better. Until they reveal enemy names in champ select. And the solo queue meta is always going to be get as close to one-tricking as you can get. Really? ADC almost always, in my opinion, has the narrowest champion pool of all the roles. I mean, you might like, I see what you're saying in the sense where, like, you might have to change your champ because it might rotate out of the meta. So it's hard to one-trick something. I can see that, like, seasonally changing, like, you know, there might be a meta where it's, like, heavy aggression early, and maybe you need to play Caitlyn, Jhin, something like that, or, like, then you go into, like, a scaling meta, and you might need to play, you know, Vayne or Jinx. Okay, he's just... Alright, I'm gonna report that. He's just literally walking into them at this point. Now, yes, it's probably because, you know, the rest of the team's bullying him, but there's no excuse for that. He's literally walked into him. I had not noticed. Before, it looked like he was, like, legit trying, but just, like, having a bad game. But that right there was, like, he didn't even cast an ability. He just literally walked into him. There are some champs you can one-trick. I would not do Ziggs. Are you watching this game? I know this guy is, like, not the greatest ambassador for the champion, but he's an extremely off-meta pick. Like, right now, people are trying him out, but... Oh, I got charmed. Or, yeah, CC'd for 3 seconds by Encore. But, and... What's up, Stream to Conquer? Yeah, don't play ADC. Well, I think ADC, I feel like ADC has some of the better. I mean, each role has good options for one trick, but like, I think Ezreal, for example, is like pretty good if you're good on him in every meta. I know I talk a lot of trash about Ezreal historically because most people aren't good on him, but if you're a one trick, presumably you're playing him a lot. You're watching videos on him. You're trying to learn him. I think stuff like Vayne is a decent one trick if you're really good on the Vayne. She's almost always like playable. But yeah, I mean ADC can feel really bad. Just not gonna be able to get him. He just really wanted to interrupt my W, I think, just for fun. Trying to think of another. Samira is extremely good. I mean, Vayne has had a pretty decent win rate recently. She's pretty garbage in the lane, but if you can just stay within like 20 CS and get 2 picks. I think Ashe is kind of bad. Twitch is a decent one trick too. I have a one trick video that I think is still pretty relevant. I would add Samira to it. I don't know what Samira's ban rate is right now, but I think Samira is extremely good. But she'll probably be targeted. He's just dead again. He's just anting. I mean, they kind of do different things, but they're still ADCs, right? They're still, like, in the same role. They still auto-attack to do damage. I mean, I get, like, yes, Ashe is, like, utility with her slow and all that stuff, but Twitch is a very good solo queue ADC if you get good on him, because you can just snowball so hard off the invisibility. People just won't respect it, especially if you're in, like, silver, gold, or lower, like... blown up. Draven historically has been a very good ADC, but he's had a pretty bad season. I think he's not good with the new mythic items. There's just not a great item for him. Maybe, like, if they buff the lethality stuff a little bit. Like, I think he was okay early on when Eclipse was pretty good. It seems like he should be good. Like, because we're in sort of like an early pressure, you know, meta, but something about him's just kind of off. Callista, I would say no. You really need, like, unless you're duoed, you need good coordination to, like, maximize her ult. And she's kind of meta dependent. I think Ezreal's, like, still pretty good. He did get nerfed, but I think just historically, well, I just kind of described it. Like, you need first of all, she need a lot of pressure early. She has to get ahead early. And she's kind of difficult mechanically to maximize her spacing. This guy's linking his Twitch. He went 1-15. And he's like, oh, dude, you're cringe. Come check out my Twitch. What? dude. I was like freaking. Hey, thanks Nagarake. I was like Platinum 3, like 50 LP or something. We were just starting to get some momentum, and then just hit a brick wall. But yeah, Callista just requires a lot of tempo and good ult usage. No, I'm not encouraging people to go harass him. I just think that that's probably not the play. It's probably not the play to link your Twitch when you go 1-15, unless he's not even online. I mean, unless you just want to go in there and I mean, some people like that, just getting in there and just like yelling at each other, calling each other names, IRL, asking each other to fight IRL or something. What can I get you? I mean, it's like 25 for a guide, 20 for coaching, 5 for op.gg if you just want me to like look at your games and your builds and give you some comments on like runes, items, and you know, other stuff like that. What's up, Boosted Kid? Yeah, I got you. I know it's rough. Hey, thanks, Aporva. Thanks for sticking around so long. I wish I could play some more Zyra. I played a game of her yesterday. Yeah, I mean, that's a really cool thing about League, I think, is that it is constantly evolving and changing. It's updated every 2 weeks. I mean, the meta doesn't completely change every 2 weeks, but, you know, there's some stuff that gets you to think and theorize and opens up some space for some new champs and things like that every 2 weeks, and most games do not update that frequently. Jana. I need to do, like, I don't know, some more guides or... Cool, man. I'm glad you're getting chill, too. Are you sitting with your family watching this right now? Is that what you're saying, or you watched something earlier with them? Oh, was Jason on? I didn't even see it. Are you asking if he's on? I haven't played with Jason probably in a couple weeks. Maybe we played like one game last week. I can't remember. Yeah, he's been going to sleep earlier. I think once his wife went back to work, he's like taking care of his daughter or something during the day, so he has to get up earlier with her, I think is what the deal is. Something like that. Samir's banned. I don't know, whatever. First pick, blind pick, I guess it's Rakan. I don't know, like... Haven't found a ton of success on Rakan, like, super recently. Over the last couple of weeks, I had been doing really well on him. Until, like, a few days ago. Oh, I got you, okay. I was like, I've never really considered that someone might actually sit down and watch this, like, with their wife and kids or something. I mean, I guess you could. I never thought of, you know, watching gaming as like a family, like a stream as a family activity, but I guess it could be. I mean, the times are changing. I still think of just someone like sitting by themselves or, you know, just chilling on a couch or something watching it. Maybe two people. You've got like a, you know, friend and y'all just want to watch like LCS or something. Hey, a regular ADC. Is Jin good? He's okay. I think I would probably put him in like A tier. Or like tier 2, whatever. I know there's different letters and stuff, but like probably a top 5 ADC maybe. Like, hold on, let me vet this. I gotta start dodging stuff again. I should have dodged that last game. Ziggs has to be, like, unless the person has experience on Ziggs, it has to be a dodge. Wow, I like that. 650 games on Jin. Jin was really good earlier on in the season. What are we up against? Just Lucian Blitz. I guess that's fine. Okay, Zoe. I just want to see whatever champion somebody's playing. I just want to see it within the top, like, 2 or 3 most played champs on the season. That's it. That's the most important thing. Jason may never get to plat. I mean, Jason's already been plat. He was plat for, like, the first 3 months or so of the season. He just got demoted down to gold, and it's, you know, kind of like me. You know, I was up in Platinum 1 and got demoted down a few divisions, and I've just been kind of spinning my wheels down here. It's kind of the same with him. Like, he peaked out around, like, I think Platinum 3, and then he's been chilling in, like, Gold 1 and Gold 2. Yep, that person does like Jin. It's good. Oh, yeah. Definitely watching YouTube and stuff. My wife and I don't watch TV. The only one who watches TV is my daughter, and she watches Netflix. We don't have cable. Or, like, just all kinds of, like, just kid channels. Like, we have Amazon Prime, too, and she'll watch, you know, Prime has some cartoons, and Netflix, and we've got Disney Plus, but we barely ever watch it. Yeah, I mean, we don't watch a ton of stuff together. If we do watch stuff, it's on one of those platforms. But yeah, we both just watch our own YouTube videos most of the time. And we, like, when we hang out, we're, like, outside doing something at a park or at the pool or at dinner or something like that. When we're, like, in the house, unless we're eating something, we're not, like, you know, sitting around. Usually she'll be, like, looking up something on her phone, and I'll be doing something on the computer, and we'll be talking to each other. But yeah, she just watches reruns of her favorite shows historically.
I appreciate
Hey, thanks, Kamoy.
man, and I thank you for the effort you put into your content every day.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you have any questions, you know, about, or, you know, as always, just keep asking them as far as, like, builds and champs and things like that. Glad to hear that in general it seems like you seem to be enjoying the game a bit more, and, you know, maybe over the last couple of months maybe been climbing up or seeing some, yeah, just enjoying it a little bit more. Now, my daughter... Oh, my God. How the fuck did that hit? What? What is that hitbox? My daughter actually watches, like, video games on the iPad sometimes. I saw her watching, like, some people playing Minecraft, and then she was watching people playing, like Mario Kart or something. There's actually one that was like a little cartoon about League of Legends, ironically enough. So she's already watching watching some games. So that was funny. Blitzcrank pay to win skin. Ooh, okay. Don't flash for it. Don't flash for it. Okay.
Living the dream. The dream.
First blood.
Used to be a skill. And I.
It's hard to hit Lucian cold turkey, just like Vayne. It's got a really quick dash. So it's kind of difficult to pressure him without my ult early. Unless he dashes forward. Trying to predict where I'm going to jump. It's cute.
An enemy has been slain.
You're bad, man. No, you're bad. It's like, I'll settle it. You're both bad. Stop arguing.
An ally has been slain.
Star shining for weeks.
No, I would not do a control word early in solo queue unless, you have something very, very specific in mind. Like, you've talked about it in your lobby or something.
Boring. I'm with
Your jungler said, hey, get a control ward. I'm going to gank, like, Zen Zhao. It's like, I'm going to gank level 2 bot. Or something like that. You're just giving up 2 potions early is huge. Yeah, well, I don't start off with it fully disabled, but yeah, I'd say in like 90% of the games I disable it. Because if you just like completely disable chat, then they can't hear you talk either. They don't see your pings either.
Enemy killing spree.
Wanna be a star? Fall like
Jesus Christ, dude. The feed is so insane.
Zaya and I were abandoned on the
Ban Kiana if you're diamond.
I don't like being
Kiana, unless you know they play Kiana,
squids are the worst.
I think she's a really, like, off-meta champ right now. I don't know necessarily if she's bad or good because I never see her, but I wouldn't ban her. Fizz, like, maybe you could ban Fizz, but he's not, like, super popular. I definitely ban Fizz over Kiana. Well, the Lucian got me. Okay, we're gonna get him though? Yeah. Okay. Yes, at least we got something, dude. Like, the thing about Fizz that makes him so ban-worthy versus a lot of other assassins is the fact that he can go untargetable so often that it just allows you to play around towers and dive really well and just bypass a lot of counterplay that people might have. Like, it's just almost impossible to hit him with a skill shot. He can get bullied early, but that's what it is he just has so much, not only mobility, but untargetable. Versus, like, Kiana can be pretty, you know, she can have some decent mobility, and she can, you know, go invisible with her grass, and she does a lot of damage, but she doesn't have that untargetability, and that's what makes Fizz unique. Zed can do it, like, as well, which is another reason Zed's really, you know, kind of popular and usually fairly strong. But his is on a longer cooldown. Well, I mean, Trinomir, like, is just getting annihilated by this set. So it's like each team has someone that's getting, like, really fed. It's just their fed person's going to be able to snowball harder, I think, with it. Oh my god. That Fizz gank just fucked us so hard. We lost like a whole wave, and then they got a couple of kills, and now they're up like half an item. Oh, you donated for an op.gg, okay.
Whoa, danger brings out my bats.
I saw the donation. I didn't notice it was for an op.gg, but sure. You're gonna have to tell me your IGN when I'm out of this game. Well, maybe we can play around set. Maybe Trinomir just AFKs, just leaves.
It's not that I completely lost my sense of hope. It's that the light inside me died a long time ago, leaving a dark, very good-looking soul.
Is Fizz gonna shut him down, or is he gonna shut Fizz down?
Universe tends towards chaos. I'm just helping it along.
Is he up there already? No, it's Trinomir. Okay.
An ally has been slain.
He's probably running there, though. Zoe's just like complete dead weight. She's like not even pushing in.
Everyone is
I
watching.
don't apologize. Doing my thing. Most good guys.
Alright. Yeah, I was about to say, they're probably going to get him on that one. Hey, it's all good, man. I appreciate it. Holy shit, the fuck?
Badges feel so good.
Okay, we got a rotation down. Alright, well, it's kind of unfortunate that she's worth gold again, but that was a good rotation down. Okay, and he's got Rift. Alright, alright. I mean, we're in it. God, he takes like no damage. Wow. He's level 11. What? Why does getting, like, they should just take away experience from kills. Like, you already get far enough ahead with just the gold. Like, why do you have to get, like, be 4 levels up?
Riku, I did not rescue you from a cold dead planet so that you could laugh at me. I rescued you so you could hold my mirror and tell me I love you.
Or they should give you a shitload of XP if you shut down somebody who's a higher level. Like, a lot of XP. Because that's just so much. I mean, you get some, but I don't know. It's like a huge part of why he was unkillable right there is he just had like, you know, 600 extra XP. He's just gonna dive me probably.
Living the dream.
Fizz is pretty good against Zoe, but I don't care what the matchup is. You don't have to die 5 times in lane.
Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
Thanks, Riku. Real cool. Whoa! I saw stars for a second. Some dark.
They just need to increase like his E. Just make it like 2 more seconds on his E or something, or 3 more seconds. Just make it like a long ass time. Maybe if he gets a kill, like the cooldown gets cut in half or something. I mean, I don't know. That's like how he's supposed to operate. Or don't just make it where he's still targetable. Just make it like a jump. I mean, that's part of what makes him unique is his untargetability, but just make it a jump that could be disrupted. Just like a Zac jump through the air.
An enemy has been slain.
I mean, they could buff it in some way to make up for that. Like, maybe they lower the cooldown, but just allow you to interact with him.
Safety is boring. Let's start a fight.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Or, you know, if they think that's part of his survivability, like maybe when he goes up there, he gets a little shield or something. I don't know. Like, but the whole fact that he goes completely untargetable is so difficult to balance.
Evil.
This is the second fucking person in a row that's just literally running it down middle. Was she typing or something? She just literally ran into them. But then she turned around and ran away like she wasn't. I feel like these games are just like straight bronze, like on our team. I don't know, like we were kind of in it, but there's just 1 or 2 people that just like turbo feed. I don't think every game's like that. None of the games for the last 2 weeks before the last couple of days are like that. It's like these last 2 days have been just really rough.
What I want. No stars.
An enemy has been slain.
I mean, we've had people on our team that have done like all right these last 2 games. Like the Hecarim last game was all right. You know, he was doing pretty well, and it's like, this set's doing alright, but it's like, there's just one person that's like 0-20.
Self-control is for starving. I choose fun.
Hey, what's up, Dylan? Fuck. God. How did that not charm the Fizz? I guess I shouldn't have gone for it. That was a mistake. Will Zoe link her Twitch chat? I don't know. I fucked that up. I thought Set, like, we were gonna turn around and kill the Fizz, but then he ran out. I thought my charm was gonna hit him, but some reason the charm didn't hit him.
Enemy rampage.
I wish they would buff Rakan to like his original impact radius. That was one of the biggest like low-key nerfs. Was like visually it's very deceptive because you pretty much have to walk like on top of them. You have to be overlapping frames with them in order for them to be charmed. Whereas initially it was supposed to be like a 200 radius, like, you know, a circle around you. And then they just like knocked out the radius by like 2/3 or something. Yeah, that was too ambitious. That was a bad play. I thought we were going to be able to turn it, and I was just frustrated that everyone just disengaged. Like, I've used my ult 3 times this game or something. It was like people just disengage, or it's just a really bad situation. And I was just wanting to make something happen. But everyone else just wasn't having it. Well, okay, so the biggest thing about Rakan that made him so strong that they nerfed the most was obviously the movement speed on his W. The fact that you could R plus W and then just engage so quickly, and the hit radius on the R. Yes, they changed his movement speed on his W. They changed the impact, like the radius. I still think the radius was a bigger nerf than the W speed. Like the W speed's still like serviceable right now. The R into W like does matter, like that's a pretty big nerf, but it doesn't really affect a lot of the ways that you use him if you use him as counter engage or to follow up on someone else's engage. I don't know. Like, it is hard to buff Rakan because he still has had a pretty good win rate most of the time in pro, and he still gets picked some. So, and his win rate's typically around like, you know, 49, 50%, something like that. Can you at least auto attack him, Jen? Just anything? Like, he was out of cooldowns. Fuck. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. They can't really buff Rakan. He's fine. I just need to play better. But it would be nice if they gave him just a little bit more. Dylan, I've been hitting up those limited time nodes. I kind of like that system. Like, there are certain, like, resources that only show up once. I love how they have like an Eorzea clock for like the world clock that moves a lot faster than the real world, and that certain things are timed in certain places, like weather conditions. Like certain fish you can only catch in like certain weather conditions, for example. And then there's certain like herbs and minerals and stuff you can only mine at like a 3-hour window of the day. Yeah. Dude, I spent like all day, like, I was probably doing some kind of gathering for like 6 hours. Maybe not that much, but it was a while. But yeah, even some of like the stuff around level 50 starts to get kind of expensive. Like some of these things that I've been farming will sell for like 1,000 gil each. Like I went from like penny pinching like 20,000 gil, and then I finally started using the auction house and getting some of these like level 50-ish materials and got up to like 130,000 gil, which still isn't like a ton. Why did Gosu quit gaming? I have no clue. I haven't really followed him. I know kind of who he is, but not really. I don't know. Maybe he was just dissatisfied or wanted to do something else with his life.
This place will look different when we're in charge, Riku. More dark matter?
Buy the vendor gear. Oh, yeah. I've never bought any vendor gear. Yeah, pretty much.
An enemy is legendary.
I've just done it through quests and just crafting my own gear. But of course, I haven't really done very high like battle gear or like a battle class very high. Like I've got like a level 28 black mage or something and a level 28 arcanist, and that's as high as I've gotten. So I really gotta start leveling that up more. I've just been doing the crafts. So many of my crafts are like in the 50s. I have to get like expansion items. I have to buy expansion items because I can't go farm them because I have to get to Ishgard, which I can't do until I like complete the main storyline. But like my fishing's already like 55 and 60, and I haven't even set foot in the in the expansion yet. Several of my classes are around that. Oh god, there it is! Shit, he died though, and Udyr just like punked out. I mean, Fizz is just like 16-0. Okay. Well, I mean, I can't, like, I will get to it, but, you know, this game's about over, so I can't wait, you know, 25 minutes to do the op.gg. So we'll just have to, once you finish your game, just wait on me for a little bit. I'll play a few more. I mean, this game was sort of close at some points, but it's like, both of these games have just been, like, completely annihilated. Like, just one person. I made mistakes, though, that game. It was just, like, I just had to just be careful. Dylan and I joined a guild, by the way. We could probably get other people in there, too, for people that want to join. I think it's kind of a big guild. I don't really know. I haven't looked at it too much. But you get, like, little perks and bonuses to, like, experience and stuff if you join a guild. Okay, the Ian guy didn't say anything. I think he was just typing. I think he was just typing that one time. It looked like he was trying for the most part. He was just typing to somebody or lagged out or tabbed out or something and walked into him and tried to run back out. I'll check out the Discord and stuff later. I'm really not looking to be like super social in there yet until I get to a higher level. I mean, part of it's like, you know, I'm going to try to start recording some more episodes and things like that with it. And I mean, I assume the vast majority of them are pretty close to max level, if not max level, or at least like in the expansion. So there's not really a ton to talk about. I don't want to like ask them to come down and help me out with stuff. I don't really need a lot of help with stuff. You know, the dungeon finder, like, was great. I mean, I usually find a dungeon even as DPS within 5 or 10 minutes, and you can walk anywhere. He said he left, Poseidon. Or he's, like, in the middle of a game or something. So we're gonna have to do it later. Oh, okay, I got you. No Zoe Twitch, yeah. She didn't link her Twitch. She didn't say anything in the post-game. I mean, she's 58% Zoe player, 83 games. It's like the worst game she's had probably all week. Talking about Final Fantasy 14. I speed it up. If it's a donation game, I mean, I'll go as long as possible, but usually when I'm watching it, it's a replay, and I speed up, like, the, when they're walking back to lane and stuff like that, or if the laning phase is just, like, it's just a farm-off lane and nobody's doing anything, sometimes I'll put it up to, like, 2x or something, or, like, 1.25, or just speed it up a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, that's not uncommon. That people give me kind of long, complex games. Sometimes people just give me the, you know, complete stompers, right? Just to show off that they had a really good game and they're really proud of it, and that's fine too. But yeah, usually it's pretty, you know, hard-fought, longer games. Like maybe not an hour all the time, but like, you know, 40 minutes, that type of stuff. Yeah, that's why I was been saying that, like, sometimes it can be really deceptive when people get blown out like that, because a lot of people are just really inconsistent in Gold and Plat. Like, usually in Plat, they're capable of having, like, good games, good, you know, for Plat. But they just have really abysmal games, too. Like, they just don't know how to play from behind. I mean, I've fallen into that camp, too, sometimes. Like, but I don't, it's extremely rare for me to get completely blown out. It happens. But for me to have double-digit deaths is rare. It's probably like 1 out of 50 games I'll have double-digit deaths or something. I do play a champ that's relatively safe, but it's the same price as any other coaching session. He was pretty much paying for the airtime on stream. And the, you know, the knowledge and stuff too, but he's basically renting the stream for a little bit. So whatever you want to do at that time in a coaching session is fine. I guess I don't know. Rammus is pretty good into Rakan. I was thinking about doing Janna or something, but I don't know what our jungler is, and I don't know if we're going to have any engage. I'm just, like, really scared to play Janna, because if... I mean, they have Triss, but, like, if we just didn't have any engage, and they had some kind of, like, Cassiopeia, or some, like, crazy-ass, high-scaling champ, it could have been a problem. Okay, sounds good. Well, I guess, you're right, he kind of is, sort of. It looked like I just had the buff. Like when I was operating earlier, a low level of the buff. It was like the 5%er. So I'm just gonna have to look up. It sounds like a higher up person in the free company can use currency to activate the buff, and I guess it works for everyone in the free company. Is that how it works? Because I didn't pay any currency or anything. I just had the buff. I had the XP, like the heat of battle buff and the crafting buff. I was wanting that 20% buff, where you had, like, alchemists can make a thing that gives, like, a 20% buff. I don't know if I can give that to someone in the guild and they use it. Oh, only the leader does it? Okay. That's kind of a shame. I mean, I guess everybody gets it. I don't know why they're not using the big one though. If they're a big guild and everybody's like level 80, it feels like they should be using the 20%er. It doesn't look like it's that hard to craft, as far as I understand. Maybe it's harder than I think, but I looked it up, I thought, and it's like a level 50 alchemist can craft a thing that gives extra, that bumps it up to 20% from 5%. So maybe I can donate that. Yeah, I didn't understand the Grand Company thing. Like, it doesn't matter, does it, if you're the same Grand Company they are? Or, like, that the guild is affiliated with? I don't know what a tycoon game is. Final Fantasy 14. Oh, how does it affect the free company buff? Are they limited based on which one they choose, or they just get discounts or something? I don't really know. I'm gonna have to look it up. No, I haven't. I haven't read a lot of stuff, honestly, in a long time. If it's, like, after 1950, there's a really low chance that I've read it. There are some things, like, I've read some literature since 1950, just for, like, some of the classes I had to take. I don't remember a ton about most of those novels, but Shalimar the Clown was pretty good by Salman Rushdie. I remember reading that. That was actually a pretty cool story about, like, this guy in Kashmir who becomes like wrapped up in terrorism, basically. I had like a modern sort of like terrorism in the state. They actually had some pretty cool novels in it. That was the most memorable one. Also, I had to read that, or I chose to read that for like 2 different classes as well. There was like a South Asian novel class. Rushdie is, I think, Pakistani. No, he might be I think he's Indian, but he's a Muslim or something like that, or he was. I think he's an atheist now. They wanted to kill him, like the Ayatollah or something. There's like a Broadway musical about it. So yeah, I've read like some things, but it's been a while. And the vast majority of the stuff that I read was is pre-1950, and I like the novels. I like Victorian novels way more than modern day novels for the most part. Lord of the Flies. Oh yeah, I mean, well, I read that stuff. I wasn't thinking about that, but yeah, like this K through 12 stuff. I have read some of those things, right? Like 1984 and Brave New World and... I don't remember a lot about Lord of the Flies other than Piggy. I mean, it's allegorical. It was okay. I mean, I think it's probably appropriately rated. I don't know. It's not usually considered, I don't think, like, one of the best books. Maybe it is. Maybe it's, like, top 100. But I think the most overrated book in my mind is probably Great Gatsby. American novel. It's, like, it's okay. Maybe I just need to go back and read it more, like, again. I've read it, like, once or twice. But to be fair, I really did not have a super great understanding of the context. I know it's about like the 1920s, the Gilded Age, but I don't understand, because the plot itself and the way that it's written doesn't seem like it would warrant, because a lot of people consider that the greatest American novel. It's certainly in the conversation, and it's like, it's alright, but like, I guess I've read Nabokov, Lolita, so I've read some stuff. That's like, not like Nabokov blows Fitzgerald out of the water. It's not even in the same league, in my opinion. His writing is just like completely next level. Like Lolita, like any day of the week over Great Gatsby for best American novel. Nabokov's interesting because he has a Russian name and he spent a lot of time in Europe, like in France, but then he did most of his publications in America, so he gets counted as like an American novelist. But he's really more of a like a traveling, I don't know. He's got a lot of experiences in a lot of different places. You'd have to read it. You'd have to read it to. It's just like his writing's just so good. It's just so in character. What do you mean a utopia? 1984 is a dystopia. Utopia is a good thing. It's like an ideal situation, right? Dystopia is just like really bad. It's like utopia would be hell and dystopia would be heaven. Or opposite. Dystopia, hell, utopia, heaven. I don't think we're gonna get him. Yeah. I need to get better about, like, not wasting my summoners. Especially Ignite. Like, right there, I know he's gonna flash. So I just didn't use my Ignite. 1984 is pretty good. It's been a while since I read it. I remember thinking Brave New World was better. But damn it, we missed the cannon though. I think maybe we got the XP for it. I don't remember. Because, you know, I thought that, just thinking about overrated books, I thought that Paradise Lost was really overrated in high school, but I didn't understand the historical context and just how important that novel was, or that epic poem was, for the development of the Western canon, and just like how much it influenced Western thought. It was just massive. It was way better than I thought it was. I had to read it for a, because I was going to teach it in a class. Damn it, it got both of us. I was trying to body block it, but it ended up hitting both of us. The Dracula novel, I think, is a really good... A lot of people underestimate that, but it's actually pretty good. I didn't read the whole thing, but I was reading it 'cause in theory it could have showed up on one of my exams. I don't remember which one it was, but... the way that it's written too, it's not just that it's like character Dracula, which was kind of a novelty at the time. I think there were other things that were sort of related to that. It popularized vampires, at least in Western culture, but it was the way it was written as an epistolary novel is still really cool to read, which is like a novel of letters, someone writing letters back and forth to each other telling the story. That was actually kind of a popular form of novels in the, like the 1700s. There were several sort of epistolary novels, which I think is a pretty fun way to write, but... But yeah, underrated. Obviously, massive influence on sort of fantasy, the fantasy genre. There's sci-fi or whatever you classify vampire stuff in. I guess that'd be fantasy most of the time.
Smile. Everyone is watching.
But not like the mainstream canon, so it doesn't get shown a lot of love. You wish Rammus could support. Yeah.
An enemy has been slain.
Shit, really? Oh my god. Note to all the aspiring junglers out there, if they, like, have pressure in both lanes and they're clearing wards around you, that may not be the time to try to sneak a dragon. I don't read modern day books. I don't know. There's probably a lot of everything, honestly. There's such a huge marketplace in general. You don't have to go... like, back in the day, you had to go through very specific publishers. Right? It was like, there might be 2 or 3 major publishers, you know, in England in the, you know, 1800s. And so, you could try to publish stuff yourself, but it was a lot harder to get the reach. But now, you know, with the internet, you can just publish stuff yourself. You know, there's probably just novels of all types out there. It's probably a vibrant scene for just about everything. Okay. I was trying to eat that for him. Oh, I should have gone Mercs, too. I'm gonna have to, like, eat this Rammus Powerball a lot, so... I probably should have gone Mercs, and I probably should have gotten Mikhail's second, because...
Killing spree.
But it is less complicated.
I mean, the novel in general is probably really hard to do, like, a very popular novel. I don't know, like, it's out there, but I feel like the audience, so it can reach a lot of people, but the audience for novels is far more limited than it used to be. Because there's just, like, you've got TV, you've got YouTube, you got movies. I think it's just, more and more, it's just gonna be, like, more like an older crowd and more elite people that are reading novels regularly. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe more people read novels than I think. Poetry's definitely, like, on the downturn, I feel like. It's just been replaced by songs. And, like, other forms of artistic expression. Yeah, audiobooks, I guess, is kind of... that's... you're right. That is becoming more of a thing. Like podcasts, basically. But it would, you know, just be like a novel.
This passion compels me.
Forget my name, just call for the Lord of Darkness. Prince of Evil, the Emperor.
Harry Potter will be an interesting sort of, yeah, timepiece. There's probably, like, some good, you know, classic fiction and stuff like... not classic, but, like, guess let's go Mikhail's here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Fuck. Well, whatever. I guess I'll just get Mikhail's first. I forgot I just don't even have my mythic. We're just, like, so poor down here. It feels like everybody's, like, going off and we're, like, hard dominating, and our lanes are, but down south we're just, like, doing alright. Harry Potter will be known as, like, a super popular, you know, pop fiction at the turn of the century. possibly. I don't know if it's going to be, like, super enduring. Like, are people going to be talking about it in 50 years? But yeah, I'm not really sure about a lot of contemporary fiction. When was Shalimar the Clown? Like Rushdie, I think is still writing stuff. He's legit. There's gonna be like non-fiction stuff, obviously, for like civil rights kind of stuff going on. Probably be like. Probably be like, you know, more innovative mainstream novels with like LGBT, you know, type of characters, or you know, I think we're just in a very sort of like hyper political identity politics kind of era, and I think that's the type of literature that will be remembered most likely and representative of the era. So I wouldn't be surprised. Probably like a lot of nonfiction. I don't know. I really just don't know. I just wanted my assist, man. I just don't like reading that kind of like just nonfiction stuff. I don't know. It's fine. It's like I'd just rather watch a documentary or something though. I don't know. It's probably okay. It's just so much time in the day and I just do other things. Modern day Lolita, there's probably something like that. I'm sure there are good novelists out there, right? Good fiction writers out there. I remember reading a bunch like around the 2005 to 10 era when I was, you know, wanting to go to grad school for fiction. I had my one of my former professors give me a reading list of books that he recommended that I try to like read and catch up on. And most of them are not that good. Most of them are not that good, but there probably are some good ones out there. Like Amy Bender, a lot of them were short story collections though. Amy Bender had some like okay stuff. I was also just trying to specifically read people who taught at grad programs if I could, just so I'd be like familiar with their work and see if I wanted to like apply to their programs. I mean, they're not like horrible, they're just not like wow. This Kench is unbenched. It is fun to think about what would be iconic, you know, what will be remembered in like 50 years. I mean, there's a lot of iconic stuff going on in our, you know, politics and just in the world. Like, there'll probably be something written about the pandemic. Someone will write something about that, or their experience in it, or someone will make, like, a fictional universe during the pandemic, and something like that. See, this doesn't have health on it though. The thing is, the mythic items are just like so well-rounded in general that, yeah, books. Well, there always has been like theater, which has been really popular. But yeah, it's pretty much books, like poetry, theater. But yeah, now you've got TV and other like digital media, YouTube, video games. I think video games honestly are one of the biggest like artistic canvases right now. I think so many games, like good high quality AAA games, are like better than a lot of movies. Something like Witcher. And TV is also like become, I think, the big artistic medium. TV was kind of just the brain dead sitcom thing for a while, but now it feels like movies are more brain dead on average than like a lot of the TV shows are. At least the ones that are like, you know, the kind of premium ones, the Netflix originals and Amazon and all that stuff. I could be wrong about that, but you just have a much better space. You can get a lot more creative these days when you're off the major networks and stuff with like HBO and Netflix and things like that. You can just be a lot more creative with like your storytelling, and you just have more time to develop your story. Movies now, after seeing stuff like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones when it was good and stuff like that, I'm just like, they just don't have enough time to develop shit, right? It needs to be like a really isolated, like heavy-hitting, good story. I feel like if I'm gonna watch a movie these days, it's just for like the spectacle and awe, you know? I'm not expecting a lot out of the storytelling. But again, I'm not like a movie expert. I don't watch a ton of movies these days, or TV for that matter, but I do feel like it would be very difficult to tell a story like Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, even with like a trilogy with like 10 hours. How do you tell that kind of story, you know? So I feel like in many ways that has sort of replaced a lot of the novel stories as these like long form, you know, TV shows over like 60 episodes. No, I didn't watch the Snyder Cut. That would be cool. I mean, I think breaking it up and just... Now, I do think that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has sort of innovated the way that movies work, especially like action type of movies and how they do their storytelling. So I thought that was huge, and that's kind of making it back. Not to say that that's like real literature, but you get a long time to develop these characters, and they intersect with other characters, so part of the development takes place through the other characters. So it's almost like you're watching different chapters of the same story, of the same novel, just about, when you're watching Avengers and you're watching Iron Man and you're watching Captain America and all this other stuff. I haven't watched most of the movies, but I did watch like the Avengers. I probably watched like half of them. But I think that's kind of unique, just having this universe that you explore over and over and over again, and that these characters kind of know each other and they're aware of the other events and things like that. It almost plays out like a TV show. Just obviously bigger screen and just like still not as many raw hours as a 6-season TV show, but I think that's been a way to do it. Was Jason on earlier? I didn't see him. Someone said he was on, or I don't know if you were asking if he was on. I thought Suicide Squad was already released. Was that just the joke? I thought, wasn't that with the Joker and Harley Quinn? Is there another one? Exactly. That's another thing, is movies are like really expensive. TV's much cheaper. TV can be expensive, but especially a lot of it, especially these drama type of shows, it's just the cast that's expensive, right? You don't have a ton of CGI and special effects, and like mega production value. And if you can grab casts that are like relatively unknown, or you know, just aren't like A-list Hollywood celebrities, you can probably make a fairly affordable show. Like Game of Thrones, I don't think was super expensive in the first couple of seasons. If a show's successful, obviously those stars are going to demand more. And Game of Thrones did have a lot of, you know, CGI, especially in the later seasons. Should have probably spent a little bit more on script writing instead of the CGI budget. But, okay. What's your IGN? Okay. Raid 0. Are you on, are you in NA? Are you in Latin America? I hope it'll be good. I don't know a lot about it. I've said they should do something like anime. I think that's a good call. Because video game, like, full-on AAA, you know, movies, or whatever they're called, like, big-budget Hollywood production movies are just almost terrible. Almost always terrible when they're about video games. I don't know. They just can't translate it. If you look at, like, the Warcraft movie, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was just horrid. So that's just not really the medium. And you know, we were just talking about how TV shows, you get a lot more time to expand the story. There's so many characters in League of Legends. How are you going to tell that? It probably has to be each season, I would imagine, would center on a conflict between two groups, like the Ionians and the Noxus or whatever. Like, I think that could be a season, and then you've got your cast of characters there. And then you could do, you know, Bilgewater versus somewhere else. You know, that type of thing, I think, would be the way you would tell it. Just have, like, 10 episodes about this conflict centered on a handful of characters. But it's so tough because there's, like, 160 characters in League. And so how do you, like, narrow it down and just tell a story without having too many characters in it? So that you can get a really good sense of those people. Or they could do like origin story type of things that would be interesting, and some characters overlap with that. So like the Camille, you know, telling Camille's story about why she decided to become cybernetic and things like that. I think that could be pretty cool. Yeah, Jinx and Vi, you know, family or related, you know, stories about that kind of stuff would be cool. Yeah, exactly. I think the anime style, I think, just fits very well. Fits the aesthetic way better than live action. And it's just easier to do, like, CGI type of stuff. Like, I think it's probably cheaper to do anime than having to, like, CGI the whole thing. And yeah, I think you're right. It automatically kind of puts you into a fantasy world. Which is obviously what you're dealing with. The Final Fantasy VII, like, follow-up movie, I think was pretty decent. I believe it was animated. Way back in the day. It wasn't, like, amazing, but I just remember thinking, like, this is okay when I watched it. Okay, so we've got... Raid 07. Okay. I'm doing the Nocturne Zoe. Good. Yeah, you're narrowing it down a little bit. I like that. Looks like you're doing pretty well on Vagar. So maybe take a look. I think there's something's going on with this mouse. I mean, this is like a really jank-ass, like, $20 mouse. It was supposed to be just like a temporary mouse that I got from, like, Best Buy when my old mouse died. And I was like, I'm going to replace it this weekend. 3 years later. Nocturne's been nerfed in lane, but he can still be pretty good. Probably this weekend, Black Falcon. I've been kind of caught up with a lot of stuff this week, but probably this weekend. I did the research on it like last week, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I need to release the rest of the Beastmen too. Maybe I'll do an episode of that after this is off. Oh, I need to reload it? Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm not like super familiar with the builds on like mid. A lot of mid champions like Nocturne. I feel like Stridebreaker's probably pretty good. What were you? You were against Gnosis middle or Teemo? I'm not sure about Edge of Night. I feel like that should probably be something else, but I don't know. Like with new I feel like the Stridebreaker. I mean, let's just look it up here. Like, I get that you're maybe trying to like have that shield against like a Karthus ult, but the problem is like it's gonna be broken by the time Karthus uses his ult the vast majority of the time. Like, you're not gonna have that shield on you. It's a lot better against like engage, because that's the only thing I can see here that you would want that for. I mean, I guess it helps against like Teemo Shrooms and against Ashe and stuff like that too, but I don't know. I feel like you're giving up a lot of damage. Yeah, Sterix is what I was thinking. Like, Sterix and then either GA or Cleaver. It just feels like you're just giving up way too much damage, and Sterix is just such an OP item right now. I just want like a little bit more staying power, because you do so much sustained damage, you just don't want to get blown up. And so I would try to maybe get stuff like Sterix second. It's just such a strong item on that type of champ. And then let's see. So I do like the Conqueror Lifesteal build. As far as Zoe goes, I really don't recommend Hourglass the vast majority of the time. You lose so much damage off of that item. You're not against an AD champion in lane. You're against Diana. So you're not really gaining a lot of value out of the armor early on, out of the arm guard. And like, I know it's cool, like you can potentially make out plays with Hourglass, but the vast majority of the time, especially until you get to like Diamond or something, it's just going to be too detrimental. I would just rather go for just more damage. So I think that I like the Everfrost. I think that's a good setup. You can just RN, Everfrost them, bubble them, Q them. Like, I think that's a pretty good item with her. And I'm not sure what the second item would be. Maybe it is just Deathcap. That feels a little bold. I think people were doing that little wrist thing with her at one point. The thing where when someone CC'd, they take like 10% extra damage or something. Or if you hit them like such and such distance away. I'm not sure about Deathcap. Deathcap feels like maybe a little greedy unless you're super fed, but maybe you should go Deathcap. Yeah, this thing. Horizon Focus. It's pretty popular. And then it looks like they're going Ludens. I don't know. I don't know what the win rates are, the difference between Ludens. It's not super significant. It's like 2% though. So maybe consider Ludens over Everfrost. Okay. Well, that's just something to think about. Most people are not doing Deathcap just because it's so expensive. Unless you're just like mega rich and it's like super late game. I probably wouldn't do it. And I think you want Dark Harvest too, instead of Electrocute. Like, you can do Electrocute, but Dark Harvest has that like big burst just off of going in with your Q. With Electrocute, you pretty much have to hit your bubble, I think, in order to get it to proc. Because if you just RN auto attack and you hit them with a Q, then that's not going to trigger it. I don't believe. Maybe the extra damage off your passive on the auto attack triggers it. I'm not sure. But I think Dark Harvest is what I see most people doing. Yeah, Electrocute's like 2% lower. Although Electrocute is pretty popular. So again, I don't play these champs, so I'm not like 100% about that. But and then let's see, so win rate, a little shaky on both of those. I mean, I think the Vhagar looks like it's doing pretty well overall. Looks like you haven't played him a lot lately, but you know, between those, if you want to keep practicing those, I would probably stick with Zoe. I think she's a pretty decent, you know, one trick if you get proficient on her. She's kind of hard to play versus Nocturne. This gets a lot of attention, and he's already been nerfed once, and he might get nerfed again. I'll go ahead and put us back in queue here. But yeah, Talon's like okay, I guess. I would not go for this Bruiser. I don't know. Maybe the Bruiser build's okay on him, but I would probably just stick with the Nocturne and the Zoe and Vhagar. Unless you just want to have some fun and play different stuff. You know, as I always say, trying to specialize. Like, you've got a pretty close split on a lot of these champs. You want to be much more top heavy. Like, the distance between, it should be like 3-1 or something. Like, your third most played champ, you should play, like, your main champ, I think, like, 3 times more than your third most played champ. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that stuff I can't really comment on too much because I can't actually see the gameplay as far as, like, vision and playing around vision and stuff like that. Most of these games, you have a decent amount of control wards. I would probably... It's tough to say. I think a good general rule of thumb is 1 control ward per 5 minutes. But as long as you always have one on the map, I know like in Bronze, sometimes people don't clear wards fast enough, or they just don't clear wards at all. And if you put them in creative spots, you might be able to keep a control ward out there for a long time. But especially with champs like Zoe, you know, there might be some good value in, you know, buying a lot of control wards just so you can, you know, make plays on people out of the bush. So sometimes, you know, yeah, if you have a control ward on the map, it's giving you vision that's good, but sometimes it's just as important or more important to shut out the enemy vision so that you can make plays. Fast and Furious. Yeah, I mean, that's been a franchise for a billion years. Vin Diesel's still, like, that was... It was his best decision he ever made. Does it still have the, like, I don't remember his name, the white guy, or if they moved on from him? I think Vin Diesel's the face of the franchise, from what I understand. I don't know how they, like, is it like 10 movies or something? Maybe not that many, but I don't know how they're still making those movies. Why does LS always say controversial stuff? Well, I don't know what he says, but that's part of his thing. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I know, struggle's real. Holy shit, they got a good team. They got a really, really good team. Do we know what we're doing, or am I dodging? I'm dodging. Their team's just way too good. We've got like an auto-filled support as the ADC. No games on anything but support, basically. Ryze is okay. I don't remember what this guy was playing, but it wasn't Scion. Or Irelia, because they had Irelia. And they just had so much carry potential. I don't remember what the hell they had. They had Samira, so it's like #1 ADC. They had Rel, who's extremely good versus Rakan. I haven't played against her yet, but she got some like really big buffs recently. Then they had Irelia, who's like one of the best carries right now in the game. They had something else in a solo lane that was really scary. And then they had Lee, which is not that great right now, unless you're like really good on him. So I don't. The Lee pick was cool, but Diana, yeah, Diana's like really strong right now in the jungle. Well, she would have been in a solo lane if Lee was in the jungle. Maybe it was Lee solo lane and Diana was jungle. Jinx can be okay, but you got to keep in mind, like, that guy never plays Jinx. And they had a lot of dive. And supports are like the worst people to get auto-filled to be perfectly honest, because you get support. Like 90% of the time you're going to get support, so you don't play other roles. And you don't have any practice last hitting. So like the CS is going to be horrible. I mean, I guess like she knows matchups in the bottom maybe as a support, so that's why she picked ADC. But I think that supports should probably pick jungle, because then at least you don't have to farm. Yeah, Diana's pretty good right now. Meteos kind of insists that she's like the best juggler in pro, or one of them. Well, I was playing the other account because it was ahead in Elo, but I don't like Seraphine. I think you need to play a real ADC right now, or you're just not going to have the damage to crack through all of the shield bow, Sterix, Divine Sunder, 50,000 different ways to heal bullshit champs out there right now. I think you just need heavy sustained damage in the mid to late game. That's why I don't like Ziggs also. Like, they're okay against, like, squishy, you know, like a bunch of squishy champs if you don't get assassinated and blown up, but so many people are just way tankier than you would suspect. Oh, jungle mains are worse to get auto-filled? Possibly. I don't know, man. The thing is, like, you're going to get filled sometimes as jungler. You're going to get filled more often as jungle than you will as support. It's not just that supports, like, don't have practice last hitting. Junglers don't really either. But it's just the fact that you never have to do it because you always support. Like, that's the perk of playing support. One of the big ones in solo queue is that anti-heal stuff. I mean, there is some anti-heal stuff, but the healing is still, like, really OP. Okay, Leona. I was actually thinking about playing Leona against Lissandra, but I could just rush Mikhail's. I probably don't do that enough. I probably just kind of rush Shirelia's no matter what. Maybe too often. That's what a lot of the big boys and girls do, though. I don't know. LS says controversial stuff. I think he, like, believes it, though. It doesn't seem like he's just a provocateur. Like, sometimes I think he goes a little over the top with what he says, but I think he's a, he says what he believes. As far as, like, League. When you say controversial, I don't know if you mean, like, social issues or League. I don't know what he says about social issues, but his League stuff, he's very opinionated, you know, which he should be as an analyst, but he definitely has some hot takes on things. He likes trying to, you know, go against the grain, which is good. I mean, you need people to go against the grain. Keeps it interesting. Vayne, yeah, we're not doing anything in lane. You always jungle 100%. I mean, jungle I think is the second least played role. I don't think it's that far behind support. But those are the two roles that a lot of people just do not want to play. They're like their own separate games, basically. Especially jungle. Jungle's like its own thing. The thing is, not a lot of people are gonna pick jungle as their secondary or their main, whereas more people, I guess, might pick support. Just to try to pick something easy if they get filled. Yeah, I mean, LS is... He's smart and he tries. I don't always agree with all of his takes. Obviously, he's a better player than I am. But I don't know. I think he does go a little hard in the paint with some of his stuff that he recommends, like Moonstone, Lilia. He kept saying it's so good. You know, last season, and people were trying it in pro, and it was just like, just horrible. I remember his most famous kind of bad call was that he said Kai'Sa was just like not going to be a good champ after they nerfed her a couple of times when she first came out, because she just didn't do anything. Just didn't have any utility or whatever, and it's like, she's been probably the most dominant competitive pick since she came out in ADC. She's not like amazing right now. I think she's like okay in competitive, but you know, I mean, everyone's gonna be wrong about hot takes. I'm wrong about I have some hot takes too sometimes, right? Like Rakan might be a hot take in solo queue. I think a lot of tier lists have Rakan as like C or D tier right now. And like with how much I liked Maokai and stuff like that, I think was a little unusual. Maybe Talia can still jungle. I don't know. I should have, you know, vetted this a little better, but whatever. Yeah, people pick support second for sure. I think more often than jungle. Only supports would pick jungle second, I think, and a lot of them don't even do that. A lot of them are going to pick ADC second, because at least they're familiar with the lane. Oh. Leandre plus Morelos. That's funny. He was saying too many people got Morelos, right? Which, yeah, that was his big thing, was that Leandre's is like super good and people should do it more. He was kind of right, but kind of not too. I don't know. I think in general, though, it's just a good thing to have a diversity of views about anything. It just keeps it interesting. Everyone's like, oh, someone's got to be right and someone's got to be wrong. It's like, but it's good just to have a conversation, right? It means the game's complex and interesting if people disagree about stuff. If everyone agrees, like, yes, this, and this, right? It's a game that's pretty much been solved and, in my opinion, is not going to be as interesting. Man, I am not looking forward to doing the Tempest Keep attunements. I've got to do that before. I think I've still got like 3 weeks before Serpent Shrine Cavern comes out. Like, I'm just getting spoiled by Final Fantasy. I'm going to have to, like, you know, maybe look for these dungeons for like an hour or something. And you have to, like, sit there and just, like, watch the chat like a hawk. Which is annoying as hell. Like, I don't know. It's kind of cute at first, having to actually talk to people to get into a dungeon group, but it's just, it's so nice just being able to queue up with Dungeon Finder in, like, Final Fantasy, and then, you know, I can like, watch a YouTube video, or answer emails, you know, just do any number of things. I don't have to sit there and watch the chat, and then whenever the dungeon pops, I hear a noise, and it's like, okay, it's ready, you know? But yeah, I still have to run like 5 or 6, and I'm just like so over geared too. Like, I still have to run 5 or 6 of these like Botanica and stuff like that, just so I can get revered. Oh, I saw that dude resigns, J. Allen Brack.
World's gonna burn. I'm amazing by firelight.
Golden parachuted his way out, yeah.
This is the new hotness.
What's Bobby gonna do, though?
I do what I want. No start.
I can't really hit Ezreal with my W, which is really annoying, but... that is one thing against a lot of mobile champs early, like... as Rakan, it is hard to engage on him, but...
Living the dream.
oh, employees went on strike. Oh, yeah.
Darkness.
That was a couple of days ago, I think.
Come on, you. Let's dance. Ha! Let's go around again.
Sick burn.
I think Serpent Shrine Cavern will be fun, and the Eye and stuff like that will be fun to do, but...
Boring, Goop.
yeah, just doing that attunement's gonna be a pain in the ass. Just again, because I'm so overgeared. I should have done it earlier. Honestly, I didn't even know that there was an attunement. Like, I thought that the TK attunement was just kill Magtheridon. That's what it is for SSC, basically. Serpent Shrine. Bobby K.
An enemy has been slain.
But I'm just pretty much raid logged. But just no one, like, the, you know, amount of people that are 70 or whatever. Hopefully once it gets announced, more people will be rushing to finish TK. And I can maybe get some people from the guild to run through some of it, but... which, oh, I'm playing Final Fantasy way more. I only play League, like, on raid night.
Boring. I'm way more fun now.
I mean, there's nothing for me to do in League. I have, like, I'm literally the best items. There's, like, one very extremely minor upgrade. It's really a side grade if I get the head of Magtheridon, but that's basically the only thing I can do is raid. Like, everything else is just, there's no point. I have quite a lot of gold. In WoW, I mean, what, oh, did I say the wrong thing? Yeah, in WoW, I'm pretty much raid logged, because there's nothing to do. Other than, like, level alts or something, but... oh, which League account? Oh, I had been playing, the Abraxas, the main one, because I figure that's, like, my legacy account. That's what a lot of people will look at, you know, when they're like, who is this guy? Kind of see my history and stuff like that, so I was trying to play on that one more, but that's a recent thing. I've played more games in general this season on the Smurf account. Just because it had better MMR. But now I'm on this one because I just took a dodge on the other one.
But it is less complicated. My cloak is woven from the whispers of stone.
Oh no! Really? Oh my god! What the fuck?
Rampage.
Dude, that was like actually literally 1 HP. Literally 1 HP. Oh my god. Well, I agreed it out too much there.
Ooh, Riku, let's destroy everything they hold dear and then laugh in their faces.
Unstoppable.
Well, you just win games. That's how you recover. I don't think... Well, the cat following me was really dumb. I don't think it was that, like, crazy of a decision. If I just R'd in, hit her, auto-attacked, and killed her, I should have been able to run out the backside and then W back over the wall. Like, I don't think it was that bad. It looked bad because she had 1 HP. She had a potion ticking and literally 1 HP. And maybe I should have committed to it a little faster, but...
I only believe in myself. Ooh, and Saya.
I, like, turned back to try to get another auto attack, so it was, like, the execution was bad, but I don't think it was that crazy. Oh, yeah, the cat following was... She should not have done that. Mine was, like, questionable. Iron is a bit strong. But possibly questionable. I think it was close enough where... It's tough, but that's why I usually don't go for those kind of plays. Where it's, like, super close. But, like, you know.
Give up the rules.
Yeah, Vayne did give up on the play, too. But...
Dominating.
Did she just not come out? I didn't even watch Vayne.
I don't apologize for doing my thing.
Hey, what's up, Blue? It's fine. It was just a bad play. It's a fine time to tune in. We're probably still going to win this game. Like, all the other lanes are winning really hard.
I choose fun.
I went Mercs this game because they have Lissandra with the point-click stun and then Lulu with the point-click polymorph. Can we kill her? Really? Really? Okay. Oof. I don't know about that. You got the pin? If she pinned him into the wall, maybe. I don't know. That was kind of a bit of a goofy flash.
Shut down.
This place will look different when we're in charge, Riku. More dark matter? Dark matter everywhere. As far as the eye can see.
Has destroyed a turret.
Well, top's winning hard. Our jungler is pretty far ahead. Yeah, I guess Cat's not, but that's fine. And I mean, we should outscale the Ezreal with the Vayne, so... Ezreal is just kind of weird. Like the term scaling is so strange on Ezreal. Oh, I didn't even realize he had TP the whole time. I mean, I can't really pressure them more than we did. Dude, we're not surrendering. What is... It's like we're literally winning right now.
Those good guys.
Oh my god, this camp though.
Turret plating will fall soon.
World's gonna burn.
I mean, if Irelia gets back in the game, maybe they can be scary, but...
that I completely lost my sense of hope. It's that the light inside me died a long time ago, leaving a dark, very good.
Oh, she got... Talia got too close there. Alright, he still had Ignite, or Exhaust. Oh my gosh, the knockback. Man, dude's in the bush though, yeah.
Living the dream. The dream.
An enemy has been slain.
Boring. Let's start fighting.
17 to 9. Wants to surrender. I'm gonna be real sad if she just goes AFK. I mean, I don't know what she wants there. That was a pretty dumb dive. I committed to it with her. Vayne got 2 kills, like...
Sometimes we agents of darkness need a break.
Yeah, Aatrox did go a little hard there.
I am bad because I'm free. I am free because I'm bad.
Damn it. I wish there weren't mythics and I could just go like Mikhail's into Putrifier or something, but I've got to get this stupid Shrelia's, which we really don't need, but I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I don't need Shrelia's. That's what everybody's doing though.
Boring.
Like,
I'm waiting for fun now.
you know, the Challenger, like, one-trick Rakans. I mean, it is an extremely good item on him, but... There are some people who skip it and get Mikhail's, like, really early.
The universe tends towards chaos. I'm just helping it along.
Yeah, but Rakan's really not a skip the mythic kind of character, usually. At least not, like, the top 10 Rakan players all pretty much rush Shurelya's the vast majority of games, and, like, every pro player does. I know it's, like, a different elo in pro than it is in lower brackets, but I don't think, like, Shurelya's is just kind of good everywhere.
Being bad just feels so good.
Gosh.
An enemy has been slain.
They just ran straight past me. Just let me get all of them. My mouse work was pretty garbage in that fight. Well, Zanya's is a completely different thing. On Rakan, or you just mean in general? Not Rakan. As far as I know, unless there's some kind of new meta.
But it is less common.
I think it's Shurelya's. I mean, Hourglass seems pretty bad on him. Like, it would let you dive earlier, I guess, but
I only believe in myself.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably not the worst thing in the world, but...
I'm gonna go stare in the mirror. It's daily after
No, Samir's pretty good in lane. If she goes into melee, she does quite a bit of damage early. She's got the little circle thing that's good against like most engaged champs. She's got really good lifesteal. I don't know. She's not played in pro, so like there's a reason for that, but I think she's really good. If you have a knock-up champion like an Alistar or a Rakan or something with her, you get that extra little follow-up CC off of her passive, which is pretty nice. Gosh.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
I don't apologize. Doing my thing.
I don't know, man. We had like a day or two where Caitlyn was just like going off. I think we just played against a couple of good Caitlyn's though. He's not gonna E forward into her, I don't think. I would have probably done Shield Bow Vayne here.
Self-control.
But I don't know. Kraken's alright, I guess, but
Enemy killing spree. Shut down.
okay. Good. Give her some kills. She's trying so hard to like KS these kills. She's like not using her abilities, trying to last hit with them. So I think like in traffic you don't want to do that.
You so you could hold my mirror and tell me I look good.
An ally has been slain.
No, we're not gonna be able to beat him.
Used to be a square. Then I embraced the dark.
Killing spree.
Most good guys are just kidding themselves.
Wait, who? Which games of League for Rakan? Or is that something else? I'd have to see specific matchups and stuff. Oh yeah, I've had 10 kills before.
World's gone
On Rakan, it's not like super common, but
amazing by firelight.
well, Lissandra's just not a great champ right now. I think if you want to play Lissandra, you might as well just play Malzahar. I think Malzahar is really underrated. I could be walking over wards. It's kind of spooky.
I can't see anything. Their sparkles are so darn
An ally has been slain.
God, this Aatrox just really shit the bed, man. Like, he was doing so well. He was like 7-0 or something, and his decision making is just like abysmal. I'm just gonna get baited. I can't kill her, probably. Maybe Talia can poke her out.
I do what I want.
An enemy has been
Nice.
killing spree.
She's just gonna die, right? Or, yeah.
An ally has been slain.
Trying to at least put some pressure on the map here. We weren't gonna be able to win that 4v2 or whatever the hell that was.
living the dream. The dream of darkness.
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, I meant to try like Relentless Hunter too for the extra movement speed. I think more Rakans have been doing that. Just trying to learn from my elders, man. I mean, I'm older than they are, almost certainly, but like, my superiors.
An ally has been slain.
Savior. Boring. Let's start a fight.
Enemy has been slain.
Huh. Nice. Okay.
Sometimes we people to darkness need a break.
I mean, maybe like people had been going Zeke's probably just for the armor and some of the defense, and maybe people are going Hourglass second instead of Zeke's.
Evil
Like,
loves me.
I guess I could see it at pro level maybe.
Enemy killing spree. Your turret has been destroyed.
I think I was gonna report this Katarina just for negativity. It's just so annoying that we're like winning and she keeps fucking spamming.
Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy has been slain. The enemy is unstoppable.
Now, if Talia didn't die there, we maybe could have pressured Baron,
It's daily affirmation.
but
Stars are just sad, lonely light bulbs floating in space, revolving endlessly. in a
I mean, Vayne is definitely powered up right now.
Anyone have chocolate? I'm craving chocolate.
Cat's still really far behind. We got the stupid ass Hourglass, so we don't do any damage on Talia.
Perfection doesn't exist, except for my hair.
Dude, get out of here.
Being bad just feels so good.
An enemy has been slain.
If she gets a knock-up on him.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Oh, okay. We flanking? Alright. It's probably a little risky to do that Baron without Vayne there. Vayne did get Dragon, I guess.
My cloak is woven from the whispers of stars.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, if she would have come back, I think we would have had Baron. So I think getting Baron and like we could have just done Baron and then done Dragon. I guess she just thought that we weren't going to be able to get Viego, and she didn't want to do Baron with him still on the map. He's just going to keep queuing Baron, so I can't clear those wards.
Used to be a square. Then I embraced it.
Help me clear out these... Help me get the vision. Fucking Talia's in the bottom of the map. That's probably warded. Damn it.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Like, why is Talia at freaking Raptors when Baron's up?
An ally has been slain.
Agents of darkness need a break.
We have... How did they even get us? We had such good vision. I even had vision right there. We'd probably just lose off of that.
A summoner has disconnected.
I mean, I know how we lose. She was down here getting these when we're all, like, positioning for Baron. And then Katarina got caught. Or Vayne. One of them got caught. Viego's not the problem. Our team's just bad. Like, I don't know. Try not to be too negative, but we were ahead literally the entire game. Front to back in terms of gold.
Defeat.
Just they were able to engage. It still looked pretty good, like we had Lissandra isolated. But people just took so much damage. I'm not gonna be negative. People don't like to watch negativity, I think, most of the time. There's a certain time and a place for it, but... yeah, I mean... The Katarina was just kind of worthless. Like, Katarina does have to get some gold. I still don't understand how Vayne didn't do more. Like, she was just not condemning the Irelia. Irelia died 16 times, and I think she was the most impactful person on their team late game. That's when you know there's good champion balance. When you can die 16 times and get completely rolled in lane. And then just be super impactful later on. The Talia wall was kind of messed up, but like I don't know, like why weren't we able to find opportunities for Vayne to like condemn somebody in a Talia wall or like into anything? Like there were so many walls. Yeah, Aatrox just started like hard feeding late game. He just didn't matter. I don't know. Yeah, Hex Drinker was kind of bad. Instead of Sterix, what? Yeah, he had kind of some weird builds, but anyways, I think that's gonna have to be it for me tonight. We got in like 4 games or something. I think we went like 2-2, so it wasn't like abysmal. We might have gone 1-3. I don't know. Well, I mean, we had our inhibitor back. We had vision, like we had him walked out with control ward. Irelia was isolated top. We had perfect vision of the river. We could have all just rotated top and killed Irelia. Like, she's not getting away. She doesn't have any escapes. So... Nah. I think I've lost enough. We'll get back in here tomorrow. I'll see if I can get back on around 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we can get back in there. But anyways, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll see if I can maybe do like a patch preview or something for the stuff that's coming up next week with the patch. It feels like forever. It's like 3 weeks for this patch for some reason. I'm not sure. There's not a holiday, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. Maybe it's just like planning for the end of the season or something. I don't know. Just so it's not like an odd week right before Worlds or something. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. But anyways, we'll be back tomorrow around 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.